Hey, what's up, my fearless networking friend? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. And today we're going to talk about a subject that I actually saw somebody speaking about the other day, and that is network marketing just a numbers game? Is it just simply a numbers game? In other words, you're just pounding the numbers, you're putting people in, you're putting people through, and the numbers are going to work themselves out. My short answer is no, it's not just a numbers game. Is it a numbers game? Yes, it's a percentages game. It's a numbers game. So the good news is, okay, and the reason I'm doing this post and this video, or if you're on my podcast audio, is so that we can come to some kind of an understanding with the people that either ourselves or the people that we are working with. So, for example, like let's take two individuals that have zero skills. They're both equal with zero skills, but they can somehow figure out a way to go, hey, I got this thing, I got this business, check it out. If one person does that with 100 people a month and they've got no skills, they've got no follow-up game, they've got no personality, and the other one sits on their butt, who's more likely to eventually stumble across somebody that says, hey, this is a pretty cool idea? Well, clearly the person that's putting some numbers on the board. The person that's putting no numbers on the board, they're not going to get anything. So from that standpoint, yes, okay? In fact, this has happened many times, but and I don't remember I can't remember what we talked about last week because I ended up doing a couple videos back to back, but you know, I'll give you a quick example. Like when people come to you and they're like, hey, my business isn't working. And this is a good, I don't want to say defense mechanism, but it's a good way to challenge somebody who comes to you and says, you know, that my business isn't working. Like the question I would first ask you is like, okay, so you say the business isn't working, and let's just take the last 90-day window. How many people have you introduced to our product or our business in the last 90 days? And see if you can actually get a number or a relatively close number. What you're going to find out for the most part is, well, not enough, or, you know, I introduced 2 people in January, 1 person in February, and 3 people in March. And based on those numbers, which are either 0 or extremely small, we already know why the person isn't getting the result. And this is something that, you know, I've discussed with you guys before in a variety of different ways and different posts that I've done. So, but you know, the answer or the question, is it just a numbers game? The answer is no, it is a numbers game. And it's even a numbers game for somebody who's highly skilled. You know, it's a percentages game or a numbers game, however you want to look at it. What are the exact numbers or what are the exact percentages? Nobody really knows. I mean, there's too many variables. Like it's like, who are you talking to? If I'm talking to, you know, a bunch of 19-year-olds that are, you know, haven't done anything, nothing wrong with being 19, by the way. If you're 19, it's great. I mean, I love young entrepreneurs, but most people at 19 years of age are focused on other things and not business. So your closing percentage probably, if the numbers were equal, I mean, let's say we took a highly skilled or a medium or a low skilled person and they're only going after 19-year-olds, probably because the market that you're focused on isn't necessarily the ideal market, the percentages are going to be low versus maybe somebody where we're going after people ages 35 to 45 that have already had some kind of career experience and had jobs or careers and maybe realize it's not getting us where we want to be or where we want to go. Your closing percentages in that market would be higher just because of who you're marketing to. So it's going to vary. And I have to cover that because people ask me the question all the time. Well, what's the ideal? How many people should I be talking to every day? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, there's no number. The number is like as many as you possibly can. My answer is as many people as you could possibly expose to your product, your business, in the hours that you have available to you. The more exposures, the likelihood that you're going to get greater results. Now, here's where the kind of the difference maker is here. And I had a guy in one of my A teams who he did like 10 A teams in a row, and it was cool because each A team he'd have a new breakthrough. He'd like have a different breakthrough in every A team. And during one A team, for example, he was like, okay, I got to get my numbers up. And so he really pushed his numbers up. So he had higher numbers. But when he pushed his numbers up higher, what ultimately happened was he lost sight of, he basically looked at it only as a numbers game. Like, I just got to get through the numbers. I got to get the numbers. I got to get the numbers. And what ultimately started happening is he didn't really care whether he was just like, hey, are you open? Nope, later. Are you open? Like the conversations, the quality of the conversation suffered. So it is both a quantity as well as a quality game. Okay, so it's the quantity of what you're doing does matter. So from that standpoint, yes, a person who prospects, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a big number, 500 people a month versus a person who prospects 5 people a month. The person who's prospecting 500 people a month, they're going to get better results than the person that's prospecting 5 people a month, even if the person prospecting 500 people a month has no skills, and the person who's prospecting 5 people a month has high skills, because skills do matter, and the quality of the experience matter. The quality of the engagement that you and I get into matters. So that's why I'm always talking about the importance of working on your skill set, working on your communication skills, working on your ability to connect with people, to ask the right questions, to engage them in a manner versus being like, not, a person who doesn't listen and is in a rush and in so much of a rush that they don't even, it's like, well, do you even care? Like, I mean, you're just trying to get me for money. Like, what's your deal? Like you can speed it up so much where it becomes so fast and you're trying to get through so many numbers that it's like you're just not doing a good job. It's like you're rushing through the job as an example. I think all of us can probably relate to that in some aspect of our lives where, they just did a rush job, and it's like you had some dude that was mowing your lawn and he was running through your lawn, mowing your lawn, but he left like huge gaps in your lawn. Like, he just totally missed spots. And there's like, 6-inch grass here, and it's like, how do you, like, did you not see that there's like little stripes of missed grass all over my lawn? Versus somebody who goes, and then there's the opposite, right? Who goes really slow. And actually, I was teaching this to one of my kids at one point because they were like mowing the lawn, and they were just kind of trotting along, and they were like, I'm like, dude, it's not even that big of a lawn, but it's gonna take you, like, you can go faster with the lawnmower. You just don't want to be running with the lawnmower. So at some point, if you're going too fast or trying to focus too much on the numbers, then the quality of the engagement or the quality of the job done, you want to do have a job well done while doing a lot of that job or a lot of those jobs. So, like, for example, if we go back to the mowing lawn thing, well, okay, if you're being paid, per job, and you can either mow, 5 lawns in a day, or you can mow 15 lawns in a day. But if you're trying to mow 35 lawns in a day, maybe at some point there's like this point of diminishing returns. You're like, well, if I'm trying to get through 35 lawns a day, I'm running and I know I'm going to have complaints and I'm going too fast, and then the people are going to be calling me back, like, you missed this whole spot, you forgot to do my backyard. So yeah, no, it has nothing to do with network marketing, but I think you guys can all vibe with that as example. So no, it's not just a numbers game, but yes, it is a numbers game. And you can improve your results by getting your numbers up, but you can improve your results even more by getting your skills up. So if it's low numbers and low skill, low result. If it's high numbers and low skill, it's result. But if it's high numbers and high skill, then you can see why somebody would get a better result, right? So, I mean, this is not complicated. And the thing you have to decide for yourself is how fast do you want it, how focused are, or how bad do you want to get good, and what are you doing to get good? Because, yeah, bottom line, yeah, it's a numbers game, but most certainly it's not just a numbers game. It's a numbers game, so it's a quantity game, and it's a quality game. So if you can find a good balance between quality and quantity, you're going to make it. But if you got no quantity, you're like talking to nobody, you're exposing nobody, and you got no quality, I mean, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, you're probably not going to get a good result. Even if you're at medium quality and medium quantity, you're probably better off than, well, you're most certainly better off than low quality and low quantity. So I think you get my drift. So no, it's not just a numbers game. It's a people connection business, and we want to make sure that the quality of our exposures or the quality of our engagements is there, that we're not in so much of a rush that we don't hear something, for example, that was important that the person was trying to sell us, but we were in so much a rush to go on to the next meeting or the next call that we didn't even hear this really important thing that they were sharing with us, that was the core reason why they're dissatisfied now, and that why they might be open or interested in looking at a business outside of what they're doing, but we didn't hear it because we're like running off to the next thing. So I think you guys get my drift. I appreciate you for being here. If you're on my YouTube channel, love my YouTubers, leave a comment there. If you're on my podcast, I appreciate people listening to me on audio while you're cruising around or wherever you're at. And the rest of the details on this episode and other great things that'll help you build your network marketing business are right here at toddfalcone.com/episode 217. That's TODDFALCONE.com/episode 217. We'll see you next time.